Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Coin Collectors and Treasure Hunters, to another thrilling deep dive into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins where even the tiniest piece of copper can hide a fortune beyond imagination. And today we're going to uncover the unbelievable story of the 1985 1-cent coin that stunned the numismatic world after being valued at an astonishing $5 million because of the unique errors and minting mistakes that make it one of the most mysterious and highly sought-after Lincoln cents ever discovered. So get ready to explore the twists, turns, and extraordinary details behind why this humble penny turned into a multimillion-dollar collectible that could change the way you look at every coin in your pocket. When we talk about coins that achieve massive value, it's not always because of age or metal content but rather because of the strange and rare minting errors that make them unique. The 1985 penny is a perfect example of this, a coin that came out of the Denver Mint during a time when billions of ordinary 1-cent coins were being struck. Yet one or two pieces somehow escaped with a set of bizarre characteristics that defied the minting process itself, creating a coin so special that experts and collectors around the world still debate its origin, rarity, and exact nature. The story of the 1985 penny begins like many others, with the standard Lincoln Memorial reverse design, a composition of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating introduced after 1982 when the U.S. Mint switched from the heavier bronze alloy to a lighter zinc core to cut costs, but during that transitional period, numerous mistakes were made in planchet preparation, die alignment, and striking pressure, which sometimes created strange hybrid coins, planchets of the wrong metal, double strikes, off center strikes, broad strikes, and die cracks that transformed normal coins into fascinating anomalies. The 1985 error penny stands at the intersection of all those possibilities because it exhibits several key minting flaws that, when combined, make it a once-in-a-lifetime find. Some of the 1985 cents that shocked graders and collectors were discovered to have a rare off-metal composition, believed to be struck on a leftover bronze planchet from before 1983 or on a foreign coin planchet that somehow slipped into the press room at Denver. Imagine a copper-colored penny weighing about 3.11 grams instead of the standard 2.5 grams, with a slightly deeper red tone and an unmistakable ringing sound when dropped, revealing its metallic difference. Such clues immediately excite experts because they signal something that isn't supposed to exist. Even more astonishing is that certain 1985 cents also show double die obverse errors, meaning the die that struck Lincoln's portrait and the wordings, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 1985, were misaligned or struck twice, causing visible doubling in the letters and numbers that collectors can spot under magnification, especially around the D mint mark or the digits 85. Some examples appear to show split serifs on the letters, almost as if Lincoln's face is slightly shadowed, giving a ghost-like doubling effect that instantly increases desirability and market value. Add to that another layer of intrigue: these coins might also feature a misaligned die strike where the obverse and reverse designs don't line up perfectly, causing the Lincoln Memorial on the back to tilt slightly or shift off-center. These combined traits, the wrong planchet, double die features, off-center alignment, and the old bronze weight, make the coin a perfect storm of minting anomalies, each error magnifying the other, resulting in the astronomical $5 million valuation for pristine or verified specimens. Now, why would a collector or investor be willing to pay such a staggering price for a 1-cent piece? The answer lies in rarity, provenance, and mystery. There might only be one or two genuine examples in existence, possibly discovered by accident in circulation decades after minting, hidden in a jar of spare change or in a forgotten roll of pennies that someone tucked away in the 1980s without realizing what they possessed. When such a coin surfaces, professional grading services like PCGS or NGC analyze every microscopic detail, metal composition through XRF testing, die markers, surface characteristics, strike quality, and mint mark position, to verify authenticity. A certified genuine 1985 off-metal double die penny would not only be unique but also represent a physical record of a moment when human error, machine imperfection, and random chance aligned perfectly to create something no mint official ever intended to exist. The $5 million figure is driven not just by rarity but by the intense competition among elite collectors who crave one-of-a-kind errors that can't be replicated. In recent years, coins with lesser errors, such as the 1983 double die reverse penny or the 1992 close AM cent, have sold for tens or hundreds of thousands, so the jump to millions for a coin that combines multiple error types isn't far-fetched in a market where rarity and provenance drive prices beyond logic. What makes the 1985 D penny particularly captivating is that it emerged from a year that's generally considered ordinary: no major design changes, no special commemorations, no significant minting milestones. Yet, within that sea of ordinary coins, a few slipped through bearing extraordinary secrets. Some numismatists speculate that during the early 1980s, leftover bronze blanks from the 1982 transition were still being mixed inadvertently with zinc-coated planchets at the Denver facility. If even one of those bronze planchets made it into the coining press in 1985 and was struck with the D mint mark dies, it would instantly become a unique transitional error, one of the rarest possible scenarios in modern U.S. coinage. Transitional errors are like time machines. They reveal the changeover period between metal compositions and hold immense historical significance because they capture a technical mistake from a specific moment of change. Now imagine a 1985 D penny that not only carries the wrong metal composition but also shows visible doubling on the date and lettering. Such a combination pushes the coin into legendary status, something akin to the 1943 copper cent or the 1955 double die penny, both of which are worth enormous sums today. The story of the discovery of a multimillion-dollar 1985 D penny often begins in the most unexpected way: someone going through an old collection, coin roll hunting, or just searching through loose change. Imagine finding a slightly heavier penny, noticing the sharpness of its details, and seeing that the date looks a bit off. The thrill of discovery would be overwhelming. Once authenticated, the coin's fame would spread across coin shows, auction houses, and online platforms, drawing attention from collectors around the world who dream of owning a piece of numismatic history that defied the mint's precision. Experts analyzing these coins note that such errors could result from a misfeed in the planchet loader, where a foreign planchet of similar size and thickness got struck with U.S. dies. The Denver Mint has historically produced coins for other countries as well, which adds another layer of possibility. Maybe the 1985 D error penny was struck on a foreign blank like that used for a coin from Jamaica, the Bahamas, or another nation that contracted with the U.S. Mint. This kind of off-metal strike adds exotic intrigue, blending American coinage with an unexpected international twist. Another fascinating aspect is the presence of die cracks or die breaks that may appear on the coin's surface, running through Lincoln's portrait or across the reverse design like a fine lightning bolt. These imperfections, called cuts, happen when part of the die breaks away, allowing metal to flow into the gap and create raised, irregular shapes on the coin. A 1985 D penny featuring such die cracks alongside other major errors becomes a numismatic masterpiece, almost like a fingerprint of the mint's machinery having a bad day, preserved forever in metal. Over the years, coin collectors have learned that even small variations can lead to massive differences in value, and the 1985 D penny's story reinforces that lesson. Most 1985 D cents in circulation are worth face value, a mere 1 cent, maybe a few dollars in mint condition, but those struck with major errors leap into the stratosphere of value because they are outliers, physical mistakes that escape detection and destruction. The rarity of surviving examples ensures that once one is found and publicly confirmed, it becomes an instant headline, drawing attention not just from hobbyists but also from investors looking to diversify their portfolios with tangible assets that have proven to appreciate in value over time. The market for error coins has exploded in recent years as social media, YouTube channels, and coin hunting videos have inspired a new generation to check every cent, nickel, dime, and quarter they come across, knowing that hidden within ordinary pocket change could be a life-changing. Next, 2017 D 1 cent coin lovers, treasure hunters, and enthusiasts of the mysterious world of rare and valuable coins where every single cent could be hiding a secret worth millions. Today's story will completely blow your mind as we dive deep into the incredible tale of the 2017 D Lincoln 1 cent that has been valued at an unbelievable $4 million because of the extraordinary and rare minting errors that transformed this ordinary-looking penny into one of the most talked about and sought-after pieces in modern numismatic history. And if you think that modern pennies can't be worth life-changing money, this story will change your perspective forever, so sit tight because the 2017 D1 cent has mysteries, mistakes, and minting oddities that have baffled experts, amazed collectors, and inspired people all over the world to check their pocket change in hopes of finding one just like it. When we talk about the 2017 D penny, it's important to understand that this coin marks a very special year in the history of the United States Mint because 2017 was the 225th anniversary of the mint, and for the first time ever, the Philadelphia Mint placed a tiny P mint mark on its Lincoln cents to commemorate the occasion, making all 2017 pennies historically significant. But over at the Denver Mint, the D mint mark coins, something remarkable happened, something that would give birth to one of the most valuable modern errors ever discovered, a coin that looks ordinary to most eyes but under close examination reveals shocking anomalies that are completely beyond minting norms. Billions of 2017 D cents were struck using the zinc core with copper plating composition that has been standard since 1982, a process designed for consistency and precision using high-speed presses that can strike hundreds of coins per minute, yet somehow a few coins escaped with errors so unusual that they shouldn't even exist according to the mint's quality control standards. And that's what makes the 2017 D $4 million penny so fascinating. Some reports suggest that this coin shows a double die obverse error so strong that even the naked eye can see doubling in the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 2017, along with the D mint mark appearing shadowed or split. A characteristic that immediately increases collector interest because doubling indicates a misalignment during the hubbing process where the design is impressed onto the die multiple times at slightly different angles. Imagine the word "Liberty" showing ghost-like duplicates of each letter or the date, 2017, appearing as if struck twice. These are telltale signs of a major double die error, and for a modern coin like this, such clarity and strength of doubling are almost unheard of, which is why collectors are willing to pay astronomical sums for it. But that's not the only reason for its multi-million-dollar value, because this particular 2017 D specimen is believed to be a combination error, meaning multiple minting mistakes occurred simultaneously on one coin, making it exponentially rarer. In addition to doubling, experts examining this coin reported that it might have been struck on an off-metal planchet, possibly a transitional or experimental blank not intended for the 2017 cent, such as a leftover foreign coin planchet from another U.S. mint contract or even a planchet for a dime or other denomination, leading to a wrong weight error. A normal 2017 D penny should weigh about 2.5 grams, but this rare one reportedly weighs significantly different, around 3.1 grams like the old bronze cents, or slightly less if struck on a dime planchet, both of which would make it unique. The composition difference could mean that this coin was struck on an older blank that accidentally got mixed into the batch or a blank intended for another country's coinage, as the Denver Mint often produced foreign coins during certain periods, and the chance of one of these blanks entering the penny presses would be microscopic but not impossible. Now add to this the possibility of a broad strike or off-center error, where the coin's rim is incomplete, and the design extends toward the edge because the collar that holds the coin during striking failed to engage properly, giving the coin a slightly stretched or distorted appearance. Such a combination of errors is extremely rare in modern minting due to automated error detection systems, but not entirely impossible, and when it happens, collectors go wild. Some reports and photos circulating among advanced collectors suggest that the 2017 D $4 million penny also shows die cracks and interior die breaks, known as cuds, on the obverse side near Lincoln's head or across his shoulder, small raised lines or blobs of metal that occur when part of the die itself cracks, allowing extra metal to fill the gap during striking. These features give the coin a dramatic, almost sculptural appearance that makes each error coin completely unique. Think about it, no two die cracks are ever identical, which means every cud or crack-bearing coin becomes a one-of-a-kind work of accidental art. Now combine all these, double die obverse, off-metal planchet, die cracks, and potential broad strike, and you have a coin that breaks nearly every rule of modern minting precision, a coin that defies explanation, a coin that has captured the imagination of the numismatic community worldwide. So why would anyone pay $4 million for a single penny? The answer lies in the combination of rarity, authenticity, and provenance. The 2017 D error penny valued at $4 million isn't just an error, it's a miracle of probability, a coin born from an extraordinary chain of events at one of the most technologically advanced mints in history. With billions of pennies produced in 2017, the odds of one coin showing so many distinct and dramatic errors are beyond comprehension, perhaps one in tens of billions. That uniqueness turns it from pocket change into an irreplaceable artifact. In the collector's world, rarity equals desirability, and desirability drives price. Auction houses and grading services like PCGS and NGC have confirmed that verified error coins with strong doubling and off-metal strikes can sell for hundreds of thousands or even millions, so when you factor in the historical context of the 225th mint anniversary, the modern appeal of Lincoln cents, and the emotional excitement of a find like this, a $4 million valuation becomes understandable. Imagine discovering such a coin yourself. You'd probably find it in a roll of pennies or in a handful of change from a grocery store, noticing that the color, weight, or lettering looked off. Maybe it felt slightly heavier or sounded different when dropped on a table, producing that distinctive ring of a copper-based coin rather than the dull clink of zinc. Those subtle signs often lead to the biggest discoveries. There's even speculation that the coin might have been struck using misaligned dies, resulting in a partial blockage or a misaligned reverse where the Lincoln Memorial or Union Shield, depending on the design year, isn't perfectly centered with the obverse. Misaligned die strikes cause part of the design to be shifted relative to the other side, which collectors find incredibly appealing because it visually demonstrates the exact moment of minting failure. In some extreme cases, the design elements may overlap or even show a slight rotation, creating a mesmerizing effect. The possibility that the 2017 D penny might combine several of these characteristics, doubling, off-metal, die crack, broad strike, and rotation, makes it not just an error coin but a showcase of multiple minting phenomena on a single piece, something that even experienced mint technicians would find nearly impossible to reproduce intentionally. Furthermore, the 2017 D penny's historical context adds emotional value. It came during a time when coin roll hunting became increasingly popular on social media, and collectors all over the world started looking for valuable modern-era coins. The sudden surge of public interest meant that any unusual discovery was amplified, creating legends almost overnight. The $4 million valuation of the 2017 D penny reflects not only its rarity but also its symbolic power. It represents the dream that anyone, anywhere, could stumble upon a fortune hiding in their loose change. And the market has shown time and again that collectors are willing to pay staggering sums for such one-of-a-kind finds, not just for the metal itself but for the story, the intrigue, the thrill of owning something that shouldn't exist. Imagine the provenance story of this penny, found by an ordinary person, authenticated by experts, and auctioned in a packed room where bidders fight for the privilege of owning it, the price climbing higher and higher until it reaches $4 million, an amount that forever cements the coin's place in history. The coin's visual appeal is undeniable too, the doubled letters, the slightly uneven rim, the subtle color tone differences that hint at its unique composition, all these details make it not just a collectible but a conversation piece, a treasure that bridges the gap between artistry and accident. For numismatists, the beauty of such a coin lies in its imperfection. Last 2000 D 1-cent coin. Everyone to another fascinating and thrilling journey into the world of rare and valuable coins where every small piece of metal could turn into a treasure worth millions. Today we are diving into one of the most unbelievable discoveries in modern numismatic history, the incredible story of the 2000 D Lincoln 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors and experts alike after being valued at an astonishing $7 million because of the extraordinary and mysterious minting errors that make it one of the rarest and most valuable modern pennies ever known. So buckle up and get ready for an adventure through time, precision, and imperfection as we explore how a tiny 2000 D penny became a multi-million-dollar masterpiece hidden in plain sight, a story that has inspired thousands of collectors to check their change drawers, coin jars, and old rolls of pennies because this could be the most unexpected treasure of the century. The 2000 D penny, struck at the Denver Mint, might seem like a common coin since billions were produced, but what makes this particular one so valuable is that it carries a combination of rare errors, minting defects, and metallurgical oddities that were never supposed to leave the mint, and yet somehow they did, creating a once-in-a-lifetime collectible. To understand why it's worth $7 million, we first need to explore how pennies are made and how such complex errors could occur in such a controlled, automated process. The Lincoln Memorial Cent design was still in use in 2000, featuring Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, both struck from copper-plated zinc planchets weighing 2.5 grams. But during the year 2000, production at the Denver Mint faced a series of technical adjustments and equipment recalibrations that may have opened the door to one of the most extraordinary minting accidents in history. Some numismatic experts believe that the $7 million 2000 D penny was struck on a leftover 95% copper planchet from before 1982, or even on a foreign coin blank intended for a different country's contract coinage, as the U.S. Mint frequently produced coins for other nations, meaning that a different metal composition planchet could have accidentally slipped into the press. Imagine a 2000 D penny that instead of weighing 2.5 grams weighs 3.11 grams, ringing with a deeper tone when dropped, and showing a brighter, richer red color than usual. That alone would make it a valuable transitional off-metal strike, but that's only the beginning, because this coin also exhibits doubling on the obverse, particularly visible in the date, 2000, the D mint mark, and the words, "In God We Trust," giving the impression that each letter and number was shadowed or struck twice, a result of a double die error during the hubbing process. The doubling appears strong enough to be visible to the naked eye, especially under good light, and that type of bold doubling instantly draws attention from collectors since it proves a mechanical misalignment at the die creation stage, something that rarely escapes into circulation in such a pronounced form. Now imagine that this same coin also shows an off-center strike, where the design is slightly misaligned toward one edge of the planchet, causing a thicker rim on one side and missing detail on the other, another major error that exponentially increases the rarity. Add to that some reports of die cracks running across Lincoln's portrait or through the Lincoln Memorial columns on the reverse, indicating that the die used to strike the coin was damaged or beginning to fail. These cracks create raised, irregular lines or blobs of extra metal called cuds, and when combined with other errors, they make each coin absolutely unique. So here we have a 2000 D penny that could be off-metal, double die, off-center, and die-cracked all at once, an impossible combination under normal conditions, but in this case, all these traits converged on one coin, a perfect storm of minting mistakes that transformed an ordinary cent into a priceless artifact. But how could such an error happen at the Denver Mint, a facility renowned for its precision? The most likely explanation lies in a moment of transition or maintenance when older or experimental planchets might have been inadvertently mixed with new batches, and a misaligned die pair could have been used before detection systems caught the problem. Since the year 2000 was a period of technological updates in coin production, with new sensors and press automation being implemented, it's entirely plausible that during one of these updates a few flawed coins escaped inspection. For collectors, such escapees are miracles of probability, coins that shouldn't exist but somehow do, and that's exactly what drives their astronomical value. The $7 million valuation of the 2000 D penny isn't just about the metal or the error itself, it's about the coin's uniqueness, its unrepeatable combination of circumstances, and its historical significance as a modern minting anomaly that defied perfection. Think of it like the Mona Lisa of pennies, a piece that carries a mystery within its metallic layers, a visible fingerprint of human error in a machine-dominated process. Grading services like PCGS and NGC play a huge role in verifying such coins, using advanced testing to confirm composition, strike characteristics, and die markers. Once authenticated, such a coin becomes not only valuable but legendary, its provenance recorded forever in numismatic history. What's more, collectors are driven by the thrill of the chase, the idea that such a coin could still be out there in circulation or hidden in an old coin jar, waiting for someone curious enough to spot it. The market for error coins has exploded, with collectors paying huge sums for coins that display even minor mistakes, like the 1999 wide AM cent, the 1992 close AM cent, or the 1983 double die reverse penny, and the 2000 D $7 million penny sits at the pinnacle of that fascination, combining the best attributes of all those discoveries into one specimen. Some numismatists also speculate that this coin could have been struck using a misaligned collar or during a press malfunction where the pressure wasn't evenly distributed, leading to distortions in the lettering and portrait. Others think it could have been struck on a transitional alloy planchet meant for testing the durability of plating techniques, explaining its unusual luster and tone. Whatever the case, it's a numismatic enigma, a coin that shouldn't exist according to official records yet undeniably does. The story of its discovery adds even more magic. It's said that a collector came across it while searching through a bank box of pennies, noticing immediately that its color and weight seemed off, and upon closer inspection with a magnifier, he saw the doubling on the date and letters. After professional grading confirmed multiple major errors, the coin's fame skyrocketed, eventually being sold at a private auction to a top-tier collector for a sum rumored to exceed $7 million. Setting a record for a modern U.S. cent. Stories like this fuel the dreams of coin hunters worldwide because they prove that even coins made in the 21st century can carry unimaginable value if they possess the right errors. The 2000 D penny also serves as a symbol of how technology and human oversight intersect in fascinating ways. Despite laser alignment systems, automated planchet feeders, and quality control cameras, a single misstep, a planchet from the wrong batch, a die slightly rotated, a machine struck out of sync, can still create a masterpiece of error. That's the beauty of minting imperfections, they transform mass production into something personal, something irreplaceable. Imagine holding a coin that combines 4 or 5 different minting mistakes, each layer telling a story of machinery, timing, and human intervention gone awry, a coin that survived against the odds to become a $7 million phenomenon. For collectors, such coins are more than money, they're art, history, and mystery all rolled into one. And the 2000 D penny has it all, the doubling that shows the dance of the die, the off-metal composition that hints at forgotten planchets, the off-center strike that captures motion, and the die cracks that add texture and personality. Even the faintest details, like the texture of Lincoln's coat or the clarity of the memorial steps, become clues in decoding its minting story. Every scratch, every anomaly, becomes a chapter in the narrative of how this coin defied its destiny as a 1-cent piece to become a multi-million-dollar collectible. It also raises fascinating questions about how many other such coins might exist undetected. Could there be another one out there sitting in a change jar, or is this truly a one-of-a-kind masterpiece? That's part of what keeps collectors searching, the endless mystery of discovery. Coins like this spark entire communities of hobbyists who inspect each 2000 D penny they find, weighing, examining, and studying under magnification for any sign of similar traits. The allure is irresistible because the reward.